Alrighty, well, moving on to our post-week 4 power rankings for the UFL. You may see there has been some jostling around, and we're going to start breaking them down for you. So, Rob, who do we have as number 1 on our power ranking list?
Yeah, and
It's change.
this is absolutely going to be the most controversial thing we probably have on our power rankings right here. We have the St. Louis Battlehawks as the number 1 team. And I know you might be looking at that and saying, how can a team with 1 loss be below or above a team with no losses? Well, the thing I think we have to keep in mind is this Battlehawks team is not the same team as it was when it lost that first game. Getting Jacor Pearson back, that's like taking Tyreek Hill and adding him to a team in the NFL, right? If you added Tyreek Hill to any team, they would obviously take a jump up a spot or two in the power rankings. Also, it's kind of about how the Stallions looked this past weekend. They did not look the best. They almost lost to the DC Defenders, who aren't the best team in the league. I don't think they're anywhere close to the best team in the league. Look at our power rankings; they're right in the middle of the pack. The fact that the Stallions seem to be on somewhat of a downward trajectory, while the Battlehawks seem to be on somewhat of an upward trajectory and are adding a key piece like Jacor Pearson, I think warrants putting the Battlehawks over the Stallions. What I will say is when these two teams play, it's going to be about the most exciting thing I can imagine because it's the best defense in the league versus the best offense in the league. And we'll see which one of those two ends up winning out. But yeah, Battlehawks with Jacor Pearson and Aitman and Butler, it's just too much, I think, for any team to handle right now. So Battlehawks number 1.
And then number 2, I mean, Rob pretty much spelled it out. We have the Birmingham Stallions. And it's not that we're putting them below the Battlehawks because we think that they're not a good team. They certainly are. They are a very complete team. The struggles against the defenders could be just one game. But looking at the wide receiver room and the offensive powerhouse that the Battlehawks have, it's tough not to have the Stallions. It's tough to put the Stallions above the Battlehawks here. So until that face-off game between the Stallions and the Battlehawks, I would probably say these two teams are going to be near the top, battling for that first and second position. And I think that game's really going to decide it.
Yeah. Here at number 3, we have a team that's kind of been a picture of dominance all season long outside of one off game they had. And that's the San Antonio Brahmas. We kind of have some egg on our face because we said they would really fall off last week. But, they proved us wrong. Quentin Dormady came out, was slinging it around. That defense was phenomenal. Their weapons looked great. The Brahmas, despite the injury to their starting quarterback, Chase Garbers, look possibly even better than they did last week. So they are firmly the third best team in our rankings right now. And if the Stallions manage to drop one or the Battlehawks do, I definitely could see them moving up this list very quickly.
Absolutely. At number 4, we have the DC Defenders. This is a team that, I think really played well against the Stallions, and really utilized the Stallions' turnovers for their own gain. And it's certainly not the best team, but they also aren't the worst. And they seem to be getting even better. Every snap that Tamu has, it seems like he's getting more and more comfortable within the pocket, getting the receivers the ball. That run game seemed to be a little bit better. But, we have them, of course, above a couple teams, but they just aren't good enough to be higher than the Brahmas, the Stallions, and the Battlehawks. I think those are teams that when they would play, they would probably lose to. So at number 4, we have the DC Defenders.
Yeah, and here at number 5, we have the Michigan Panthers. They're kind of in a little bit of a tailspin right now because they just lost EJ Perry, at least for a little bit. He might come back sooner than later. Who's obviously one of the better quarterbacks in the league, replaced by Danny Etling, who obviously was not anywhere near as good as EJ Perry. Their roster overall, I think, kind of saw a little bit of a struggle this past week. Their offensive line wasn't great. That's why EJ Perry got hurt in the first place. We talked about their offensive line being a real struggle. They have some good pieces on that team, but as long as their offensive line keeps struggling the way it does, I don't think they can ever be truly counted among the great teams in this league. So they're certainly better than some of the other teams on this list because they have multiple wins, which several of the teams on this list cannot say. And they might win more games this season, again, which several of the teams on this list might not be able to say. But they are not anywhere near in the same league as the Battlehawks, Stallions, or Brahmas. And I think the Defenders would probably beat them right now in a game as well. So they are at number 5.
At number 6, slowly keep creeping up the power rankings, are my Houston Roughnecks, and they will continue that creep. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? My hope may just be misplaced. But at number 6, we have the Houston Roughnecks. And yes, they're there for, I would say, more logical reasons, other than my extreme fandom for them. They certainly played a lot better than they have the past weeks, which isn't really saying much. But they have a lot of pieces going right for them. With Mark Thompson's return, Reed Sinnett being getting more comfortable in the pocket, less mistakes, and they're certainly not a team that I would pick to win over any of the teams above them. But I think that they could do really well against the Showboats if they play them again. And of course, they beat the Renegades. So at number 6 for the Houston Roughnecks, if they fix those mistakes, they could be even higher and keep healthy, of course, as that's kind of the issue with the Panthers and Showboats right now. But yeah, right now they're sitting at number 6. They only have one win of the season. Have to prove a little bit more to get higher.
Yeah, number 7, we have another team with only one win on the season, the Memphis Showboats. They have not been good all season long, and like we talked about earlier, they lost their starting quarterback, Case Cookus, who was one of the only good players on their entire team for a long period of time in all likelihood. So, losing their great quarterback, not really a lot of talent on that roster elsewhere. It's kind of hard to have them anywhere but just above the team that has no wins at all on this season. So they are number 7 in our power rankings.
And Rob, who's number 8?
Number 8, we have my Arlington Renegades. Just so bad. Makes mistakes all over the place. Cannot be consistent on offense. They have the worst defense in the league. Literally everything that can go wrong is going wrong. They are terrible, and they have no wins, and they deserve to be at number 8 on this power ranking. So, yeah.
That's tough. That must have hurt Rob to say.
Just a little bit. Just my soul dying is all that's.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are our post-week 4 power rankings. Feel free to debate our choices, agree with them. Let us know down below in the comments section. Love to hear from you guys. And post your power rankings. If you think ours are a little bit incorrect or you think yours is better, let us know. And always great to hear from you guys.